Well, guys, first off, I'm sorry for taking like a month and a half off, whatever it was. I'm not really sure. But it's because I've been having problems and I've been working on lawnmowers to recoup all the money that I spent on this thing over the winter. But this has been the problem the whole time. This is my computer, obviously. I had to send it to Holly because all my sensors are reading wrong. If you've seen right when I started the car up, it was reading like 999 degrees for my coolant temperature. Transmission temperature was off. It was causing all kinds of problems. And me and my buddy Mike tracked everything down, tried all kinds of different scenarios, and nothing fixed it. So we sent it back to Holly, and they just sent me a new computer. So shout out to Holly, thank you for that. But we're gonna put this computer in there, and hopefully all my problems are fixed. But first, I gotta plug all my sensors back to my O2, everything's unplugged. So I'm gonna get all those plugged back in. We're gonna plug in that computer, and hopefully this thing starts, runs perfect. All right, she is plugged in. I usually have it up there on the firewall, but when Holly sent me a new computer back, they took my Velcro off the back of it, so I can't hand it back up. Okay, oh, need the keys. Please, maybe not be dead. That ain't good. You know what? I bet that computer doesn't have any sort of tune at all in it. I can fix that. Because I wish I would've got that on video, but I fired it up and this whole passenger bank just sprayed fuel all the way over. It was literally pouring like a freaking fountain all the way back. So I'm gonna get those injectors ordered from Motion Raceworks, and we're gonna slap them puppies in, and then hopefully this thing runs perfect and better than it ever has. All right, boys, shout out to Motion Raceworks for getting these shipped to me in 2 days. These are 2000 cc fuel injector development. These things can flow a ton of fuel in no time flat. We're gonna take my old injectors out. My buddy Mike is wiring up my harness with those plugs, because of course the plugs are different. Can't be that easy. I'm gonna work on getting these injectors in there right now. By the time I'm done with that, he should have the harness, and we're gonna fire this thing up. Here we go. Guys, good news. Those popped right in there like super easy, way easier than the Snake Eater Performance ones. There you go. There's the bolt on the other side. So those are the perfect freaking length. They just looked a little bit longer to me, but we are good to go. So I'm gonna get that tightened down, the other side in, put that harness in, and we're starting this thing up. You can't tell I'm super excited. Alright guys, I got the harness from Daddy Mike. He hooked me up. Made this thing look like it's from the factory, so I'm pretty pumped about that. So we're gonna throw this thing in there and get it wired up. I'm gonna change the oil because I think when that injector stuck open, it sent a bunch of fuel down into the bottom of the engine. So I'm gonna get all that cleared out, take the spark plugs out, blow those out so it doesn't hydrolock, and we're gonna start this thing up. Well, I figured out that 2 of my plug wires were flipped. That'll cause some backfiring, I bet. I have 2 cylinders that are a lot colder than the other 2. That was my fault. So plug those back in and it should run good. That's all right. That's an easy fix. So we can get the oil change. But listen to this shit. Woo! Running smoother than it ever has. Man, good injectors make a big difference.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
100. All right, guys, oil is in it. Filter's on, so I'm gonna start it up so that I can check the oil after I shut it off. And we're gonna go for a cruise. Guys, we're going for a drive finally after getting the transmission fluid level right. So hopefully this thing runs good. So far, so good, guys. Running good, sounds really good. Woo. Man, reading pretty good. Let's hope this thing reads right and we can take it to the track this weekend. After a little bit of driving, it's reading 195 on the coolant, and it never reads that high. So I don't really know what's going on there, but I'm gonna look into that because it usually doesn't even run any higher than like 185, 186. So it's still climbing a little bit too. Well, it's up to 202 now, so I don't know what's going on there, but it sounds really good. It is looking really good, and God bless America. But I need to dive in and see what's going on with the coolant temperature, why it's rising so much. I don't think it's gonna get much over 200, because it didn't before. But man, look at that. That looks amazing. She is running smoother than it ever has. Man, good injectors made a huge difference. But that's going to be the end of this week's video. Come back next week. Hopefully we're going on the track and seeing how fast this thing can do and testing out that trans brake. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.